Hi, hello, good day, all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel, Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session, now I would like to give you the new series of Python programming. So this series are called, the entire series is called as Python programming. So here we are going to learn Python. What is Python? What are the things to be known in the Python? How to install? What are the various kinds of features like functions, object oriented programs, etc., etc. Everything we are going to learn in the Python. So initially I would like to give you the introduction regarding the Python. See, first of all we are going to see why this Python programming language is used and what is the purpose of this particular Python. Okay, so and where this language is going to be used initially. Okay, give me 1 minute. Yeah. So initially, why Python and the features of the Python? So as compared to the previous programming languages like your Java and C and C++, like other kind of the programming languages, Python is very easy to learn and it is having very few set of the keywords and it is following some simple structure and the syntax is also very easily understandable. So these are the features that allow us to understand very easily in the Python programming language. As compared to previous programming languages like this Java, C, and as well as the C++, your Python is not at all hard. It is very easy to learn. Okay, and next we are going to see the second one is easy to read. Whatever code we are going to write in the Python code, it is morely clearly defined as that is very easily understand. We can easily grasp the code whatever we have written in the Python programming language and easy to maintain. Whatever source code we have written in the Python programming language, that is very easy to maintain. And the software Python programming language is also free, open source. We can easily install it. We can download it and we can install it, and it also having different kinds of the versions. Now I will, after this video I will show you how to download the Python. So this Python programming language is available in the website called python.org. Here we can download the Python and we can install the Python in our local systems. Okay, so it is freely available and it is a freeware. And next one is the high level language. When compared to the other previous programming languages, this Python is considered as the high level programming language. So here we need not remember the system architecture and how the memory going to be organized. Everything we need not do here. So everything is totally high level. Okay, so we don't bother about the system architecture and as well as we don't bother about the how the memory is going to be organized, etc., etc. So in that way it is providing its high level features when compared to previous high level programming languages like Java and all. And we can say the next characteristic of the Python is dynamically typed language. A language is called as dynamically typed means dynamically we can change the data type of any programming language from int to float and as well as float to double, etc., etc. Here we don't need to specify a type of the variable. For example, in the Java, C, C++, we need to specify the data type like int a is equal to 10. Whereas in the Python, you can clearly specify a is equal to 10. That means the interpreter itself it understands that a is the integer variable holding the value called 10. Like that, the dynamically typed programming language. In the same manner, you can change the type of a variable from a int to char to float, and float to double, etc. That we will see while we are practicing with the Python programming language. And the next last feature here we are going to see is Python can run equally on different platforms. As the Java supports the portability, this feature is called as actually the portability. What is the meaning of the portability and as well as platform independence? Is called as one more is nothing but platform independence. So what is the meaning of platform independent programming language? It can run on any kind of the platforms. It can run on different kinds of the platforms such as Windows, Unix, Linux, Mac, etc, etc. So these are the features supports to use the Python in a easy way. The very first one is what? Easy to learn. Okay. And what is the second one? Easy to read. And the next one is easy to maintain and free open source high level language. It is a dynamically typed and as well as the cross platform language or platform independent language. These are the main features of the Python, right? And now we are going to see where this Python programming language can be used. For that, first of all, we need to talk about the machine learning, especially machine learning and artificial intelligence and all these kind of things support the Python languages only. We can develop various machine learning algorithms, we can develop LLM models, we can develop generative adversarial networks, everything by using the Python. So a Python is the very high level programming language where we can do such kind of the machine learning models, artificial intelligence models, large language models, etc, etc. In future we are going to see large conceptual and large agentic models. Everything can be clearly written and developed with the help of this Python programming language only. Such a kind of programming language which supports each and every thing in the machine learning. Okay, all the it supports various kinds of the packages, various kinds of the modules to work with the machine learning algorithms, and as well as to do with data visualizations, and as well as to work with large language models, generative adversarial networks, everything. It's a transformers, okay, auto encoders, everything is supported by this Python programming language. And the next one is deep learning. As the deep learning is a part and parcel of your machine learning, what it is, actually it's a part of the machine learning. So what are the things are there in the deep learning? Normally when we are going to handle image kind of data or JPG kind of data or a motion pictures experts group or MPG kind of data, video, such kind of large data can be handled with the help of the deep learning or deep neural networks. Again, this is also can be implemented with the help of Python programming language. And IoT apps also implemented with the help of Python programming, and desktop applications, web applications, database applications, networking applications, and gaming applications, everything nowadays be designed with the help of your Python programming language. So finally we can say your Python programming is unbeatable by other programming languages. So it is high level and it is unbeatable by the other programming languages, highly advanced, and as well as the advanced also. It is highly advanced programming language, we can say, right? And the next one is we are going to see what are the things are there in the Python that we are going to see, and what is Python IDE, and what are the different things of the Python that we will see now. Yeah. So first of all, we are going to see what is the first one is. Let me explain you. It is nothing but a value. A value can be represented like this: one, two, three. These are all the integer values. This is the float value. This is the character, and this is a string. So in this way the values can be represented. So why these variables can be? Why these variables in the Python can be used to store a value, and why these functions can be used to perform certain activities, to reuse the code, and uh, for writing certain number of activities to carry out certain kind of the things, we use the functions. And library means the list of functions that we will use in one particular place, that is called as the library. We have to import that particular library, we have to import that particular module, we have to install that, and we have to import it, and we can make use of it. And the next one is pandas. Panda stands for here Python data analysis. That is in the short form, it is called as pandas. Okay, so to do why we are going to use pandas? Pandas deal with end-to-end operations similar to Excel operations. Okay, so in the pandas we are having two things. The one is DF stands for data frame 8 2D architecture, sorry, a 2D structure which is going to store the data set in a data frame in a 2D manner. And it also having the another thing is called as series, pandas. Series are nothing but storing the data in the sequential manner, like sequential arrays. Okay, so pandas uses these two things which we are going to use in most of the data frame. We can use for most of the things to implement machine learning algorithms and all. To load the data set into the particular data frame, we make use of this data frame by loading the pandas, by importing the pandas in our particular program wherever we are going to use. Okay, so pandas having only two things. One is the data frame, another one is series. Series for single dimension, whereas data frame is the 2D structure. Most widely used one is nothing but your 2D structure, that is nothing but the data frame. Okay, next, NumPy library. So what is this NumPy library? This NumPy library, Python programming itself, it is not supporting some kind of arrays. In the NumPy, this arrays concept is there. Array related operations and arrays, everything is supported by the NumPy. NumPy stands for numerical Python. Okay, it is stands for numerical Python. Okay, and the next one we are going to talk about scikit-learn. Scikit-learn means scientific learn, that is for machine learning operations we use this particular package or library that we will use for machine learning operations. Whenever we are going to implement machine learning algorithms, classification algorithms, regression algorithms, or clustering, whatever it is we want to go, we want to make use in our particular program, we have to use this particular library in our program, that is called as scikit-learn. And the next one is matplotlib and cban. Matplotlib is the library which is going to use for data visualization. Data visualization in the sense how to visualize the data in the form of histograms. We can visualize the data in the form of histograms, bar charts, pie charts, etc., etc., box plots, etc., etc. Whereas cban is also one of the data visualization package, this one also, but it is considered as the advanced thing, like heat maps, etc., are possible with the cban thing only, cban library only. Okay, so like this, the matplotlib and cban are used for data visualization concepts. Okay, uh, and the next one we are going to see is NLTK. NLTK stands for what? It stands for Natural Language Toolkit actually. NLTK stands for Natural Language Toolkit. So, natural language processing operations, this can be used. Natural Language Toolkit, it stands for. So, to work with natural language relevant operations like text processing, stemming, and various kinds of operations, identifying the repeating words, stop words, etc., etc., we are going to use this NLTK. And the next one is SciPy. SciPy stands for Scientific Python. It is mainly dedicated to perform the scientific operations. Okay, so with the SciPy library. And the next one is nothing but Flask. Flask is a web application framework. It is a web application framework. Another web application framework is also there, that is called as Django, but most widely used is Flask. Okay, and the last one is nothing but Pickle. What is the Pickle? Is nothing but whenever we create a particular machine learning model that can be serialized and that can be make use for any one of the web application, we can convert it into the form of a pickle file. This pickle file is a serialization kind of the thing of the entire ML module for that particular that means entire ML can be model can be converted into some binary module in order to work with the web application. For that purpose we make use of this particular pickle module. Okay, like that so many number of libraries are there. Once again we will see starting onwards is first one is nothing but value. We can represent the values like this, and variables are used to store the value, and functions are used to do certain kind of the activities. Whenever you want to carry out certain activity on some number of the variables, you can go for these particular functions. And the next one is a library. So list of the functions, whenever you want to work, we can make use of this particular library. So the first one is the pandas, end-to-end operation on which similar to Excel operations. Panda stands for Python data analysis. What are the things that we have seen in the pandas? One is the data frame, another one is the series, pandas series. Series are the 1D, whereas data frame is the 2D. Most widely used in our programming data analysis, we go for this data frames only. Okay, and then NumPy library. NumPy numerical Python. Whenever you are going to work with arrays, you go for NumPy library. And scikit-learn is for machine learning. Scikit-learn is for what? For machine learning operations. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, here. Okay, and then Matplotlib, Cban are used for data visualization, and NLTK stands for Natural Language Toolkit for text processing, etc., etc. Operations you want to carry out, you have to use this particular library. And the SciPy and Flask, and SciPy is scientific Python, and Flask is for web application framework, and one more web application framework is there, Django. And pickle, it is a serialized module. Your entire model will be converted into some serialization of some set of the binary data. This can be possible with the making that, converting that into the pickle file only. This pickle file can be again used for Flask file. Like that, we are having various number of the packages. Okay. And now what we are going to see is nothing but Python IDE. So what is the Python IDE? Python Integrated Development Environment. Python supports various kinds of IDE. One is the Python Jupyter Lab. We can work with the Jupyter Lab, and we can work with the Jupyter Notebook, etc., etc. Okay. In our Python programming session, we are going to work with this Jupyter notebooks. Okay, so very ease of coding, and it is interface to write a program, and highly interactive, and run the command to run it test by line, because it is interpretation. That's why we can make use of this Jupyter notebooks. Okay, and totally auto complete. Okay, auto saving, auto complete is also available. In such case, in such manner, we can, in such a manner, we can use this Jupyter Lab and as well as the Jupyter notebooks. Okay, so the interactive Python development environment, we can make use of this Jupyter Lab or Jupyter notebook. In my coming video, I want to show you how to install Python, how to install this Jupyter Lab and as well as the Jupyter notebooks. So if at all you want more videos on my channel, please subscribe my channel, Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you one and all.